Check, baby, 1. Check, baby, 1, 2. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. What is going on? Is everybody getting this? Is anybody there? The show is about to begin. I think. Maybe. Still not coming up. Uh-oh. Something going on? Something's going on. There we go. Holy cow. Jeez. I started this stream like 40 seconds ago. Good morning, everybody. Holy cow. We got some early risers. Ryan West, thanks for opening the doors. Shambot, good to see you. Roger. Jack Flamingo. Love to hear the story behind that one. Good to see you, Doc. Jeff, good morning, buddy. Flint, Caverna, good morning. Tad, Matt, Mr. White, not Dr. White. Not to be mistaken for PhD doctor. Hoos, Tim, morning. Where's Brett? Yeah, indeed. William, morning. Andy, morning. Blake, morning. Blake, got it. 10, 4, 5 by 5. Roger that. Look at this crowd. Accidental Rob. He's got a free moment on a Saturday. Joining us for our U.S. holiday weekend. Good to see you. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I had to take my Mac in last night to get an enema. Didn't. Apparently there was nothing found, so good times. Morning, Aaron. It is May 25th, 2024. It's the Memorial Day weekend here in the United States. We honor our fallen soldiers. Just to not hone in on that too much, but for those that are not familiar and can sometimes make a subtle mistake during this, and I know that other countries may have a similar holiday. So Memorial Day, wishing somebody a peaceful Memorial Day, very apropos. It is not the holiday to thank veterans for their service, living veterans. That is reserved for Veterans Day, which in the U.S. is in November. The more you know. Holiday was last week. Took extra days and spent it at the family cottage up on the Great Lakes. Is that the Hamptons of Canada? The Great Lakes. Wayne, morning. Tyler, morning. Morning, everybody. What a crowd. All right. Well, it's 2 after the hour. I'm going to put up the question of the day, shall we? Is Memorial Day the same as Decoration Day? I'm not sure. Let me double check. Because I got to know what Decoration Day. I have heard of it. Controversy over the first national observance of what was then called Decoration Day. It occurred May 30th, 1868, after an organization of Union veterans called for decorating war graves with flowers which were in bloom. So that's apparently yes. Orcus Dorcas, good morning. Good to see you. Somewhat timely this morning. I mean, as timely as you can be, I think. So that's good. Thank you for joining. All right. Yeah, click on the like. Sure. Yeah, why not, right? All right, let's see. Excuse me. Mercy me. Question of the day is, what game is your group most likely to play next and why? What? RPG, okay? Not video game, not board game, not collectible card game, not yard game, not sports game, role-playing game. Okay? I know for you folks, I don't need to explain that, but don't need any Fortnite. Come for the news, stay for the passive aggressiveness. Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, at least you, Dorcas. I am not. I don't know if, well, so, I mean, I may be passive aggressive with others. I'm actively aggressive towards you. There is a difference. Just saying. Ryan says, current playing 5 ed. After this, either DCC, Dungeon Crawl Classics, or Savage Worlds, depending on what the group's feeling. Blake's RPG Zone. Mason starts in a few weeks. Should be a 6-month campaign. Are you running or playing, Blake? Wayne says, for the EOTNG. One of the 3,000 games that Harrigan wants to run. Oh, boy. And you're along for the ride, Wayne? You're all good? You're all good with any of them. Tyler says, call it Cthulhu because we're in the middle of a scenario. So what would you play? What would your group play next? Let's see. Excuse me. Oh, God, this thing's, guys are going crazy and my chat's going crazy. Matt says, Savage Worlds will be my turn to be GM. Matt, what are you running in Savage Worlds? Do you have to, like, specify? Like, I'm going to run Savage Worlds, but, like, because it's a generic role-playing system, do you have to specify, like, sci-fi, pulp, you know, East Texas University, cyberpunk? Pretty kind of boring is, like, just people. Playing. It's recorded for a podcast. Whoa. AP. Morning, Lermy. Roger French says, interesting. For the first time, I'm not sure. I'm well in the middle of all my campaigns with my groups. I'd like to see Wild Sea, Brindlewood Bay, Fistful of Darkness, or Legend of the Five Rings 4th ed. That's a list. There's a list there. Accidental Rob says, currently playing Pathfinder. I'd love to switch to Delta Green. Yes! Delta Green. Gotta do like Delta Green symbol. It's a secret Delta Green symbol. If you don't know what it is, well, there you go. It doesn't even really exist. But we'll see what the group says. You gonna run, Rob? Caverna, I need to finish my Forbidden Lands campaign after I am settled in my new home. I think the next game could be Dragonbane or Death in Space. Why? Because I am the GM and I choose the system. There you go. Who's either Mothership or Free League's Alien. So you just want a scary science fiction. That's good money there. Either one. Although I'm a little sour on Mothership. It's superficial. You know, what are you going to do? Tim says, F you starting today, maybe. Why you got to get all hostile on me today, Tim? Tell me like F you. Why? Like, starting today? Is that going to be like every day? Flint My regular group, Friday group, is finishing up an Esper Genesis arc. Hope to teach them Shadowdark. Indeed. Orcus Dorcas was brewing coffee and half listening. What was the question? You could look on the screen, sir. You're welcome, Orcus. What is the next game your group is going to play? And why? Hair in my mouth, maybe? Wayne says, for my WNG weekly group, we will probably be playtesting a Sonic game my writing partner is working on. Is it D? Ryan West, I was thinking horror superhero for Savage Worlds mashup. Horror superhero game. All right. Gabe. My Sunday group is moving from Forbidden Lands to Blade Runner. He's stuck in the Free League ecosystem. It's funny, those dynamics, right? I picture Gabe's game group, D20 Free League. Playing or running or both? Well, that's a good question. You tell me. Because your game group, you're not like, well, what? I mean, if you're in multiple game groups, I guess pick one. And then choose, like, what are you guys going to end up playing? And why? Some people like, we're going to end up playing this because I'm the game master. Like, okay, I get it. Blake says either. That's right. He's responding to the Dorcas. Matt Catron. Modern fantasy style using their core rules, but not based on any of their released worlds/realms. Shambat, good to see you. I'm in the same boat as Roger. I would like to play or run Wild Sea or Symbaroum. Tim says FU equals Fabula Ultima for those unaware. Thank you. I haven't used, like, I know Salzweedle's been running it on the Discord, so, and talking somewhat about it, but it's not. That hasn't sunk in. The FU part hasn't. So thank you, Tim. Laramie says we're entrenched in John 4's Demon Plague for a while. After that, maybe DCC. Oh, and Cave says, and why? Oh, the Free League GM has had enough. Has had enough. Too funny. Had enough of 2D20? Tad. Probably Shadowdark. We just wrapped up a Pathfinder 2E adventure and are looking for something more lightweight. Plus, I'm enjoying your West Marches games, and it's making me want to run it. Huh. Good. Very good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for joining. Thanks for playing. All right. Mine is going to be, I don't know. I will say, so I have the West Marches game. That's probably going to go for a while, I would hope. And then the other group is with Jeff, who's in the chat, and we're playing Castles and Crusades. I don't know how long that's going to go. My buddy Joe's running a published adventure module. I can't imagine it'll go forever. Unless he, is just using that, and then it'll spring this. He'll just keep kind of like adding to it. I know old Jeffrey wants to play some Delta Green, so we'll see. We'll see. I don't know the whole group is going to be keen on it, though. Right? Gabe says, nah, we're moving from Forbidden Lands to Blade Runner. Forbidden Lands GM is broken on Forbidden Lands. All right. Well, okay. I still, in my mind, will say that GM is broken on 2D20. That's what we call changing the narrative. I don't know. What's up, Victor? Don't need any mind games either. Roger says, I think you meant to say pre-published. In this case, it is not pre-published. Joe's just using that for ideas to steal from. Yeah, he's running it, though, verbatim, I gotta imagine. Jeff says, I think some of our group will play Delta Green. For sure. You, Joe, me, maybe Andy. Maybe Professor Jason. Going to be running some WFRP, Warhammer Fantasy RP. And also Knight's Dark Agent for OSC this summer. Playing in God's Teeth and Dark Tower for DCC. I am interested to hear about the God's Teeth experience. Sunday night is our 2D20 crew. We can only roll 2D20 forever. We can roll 2D20 forever. Well, that's good. Nothing wrong with that. Too funny. Too funny. Gabe is our residential Discord 2D20 appreciator. I'm waiting for 2D20 VSD. What? And Gabe's also running against the Dark Master. That's what VSD is for folks. VSD against the Dark Master. I mean, how could you not know that? I'm coining the phrase appreciado. Yeah, that's good. I think everybody's weighed in. Should we get to it? Let's get to it. All right. RPG stuff. Oh, William's going to chime in quick. Probably going to introduce the kids to D&D sometime in the near future. My oldest has been asking to play something for a little bit now. I don't need to know the exact age of your kids, William, but are they teens? Are they preteen? Not that it necessarily matters, but it's just kind of curious to when a parent decides to loop the kids in. Orcus Dorcas says, why? I have a Warhammer Fantasy roleplay itch. Never ran Knights NDA. Should be MBA. Knights Black Agents. But I got you, Dorcas. Seth Skorkowski had Scott Dorward in the DG group, and our 4-year Hyperborea campaign has 2 more sessions, and the GM wants to do a different system. Got it. William says preteen. Got it. Oh, and you meant Knight's Dark Terror. Oh, man. You got me all confused. William says was trying Star Wars a couple years ago. I see. Rob says, my son was about 10 when I introduced him to D&D. Very, very good. Very good. All right. So, RPG news. I guess we're sidetracked, but that's okay. It's all right. I don't have any producers or directors, man. I got this. Rascal. This kind of came across my radar. Have you guys looked at this yet? The Core 20 playtest. Taking D20 fantasy to a new level with no levels. The Core 20 RPG is a D20-based fantasy role-playing game rule set built on a foundation of free-form character building with no classes and no levels. per Scott Fitzgerald Gray. So this just came out. This little news release just came out May 22nd, 2024. So if you want to read the article at Rascal, they've got a paid tier. I happen to have a little bit more info from Core 20, the RPG system. So let me give everybody some credit here and get the links all in the links, and the links and stuff. That did not paste. Why did that not paste? There we go. So the playtest, and I'll put this in there too. You can go and check it out and learn more about it. So if you don't like this die, using it a lot in your games, then this may not appeal to you. Or maybe it will. Maybe it will open your eyes to more D20-ish games. So the playtest has the full version of the Core 20 Player's Guide, featuring all the rules of the game for players and GMs. Full version of Core 20 Magic Grimoire, collecting the many spells and magic items for the game. Core 20 Creature Playtest Package, featuring more than 180 foes, allies, and folk of the world from the eventual Core 20 Creature Compendium. Character sheet, starter adventures, playtest guide, and about the game. So it's built around the framework of D20 Fantasy. So it'll feel familiar to anyone who's ever played D20 era D&D from 3rd edition to 5th. But it's different. Core 20's narrative-focused mechanics, turning D20 rolls from a state of static pass-fail into something more dynamic, are meant to shoot shared story fuel straight into the heart of the game. Sounds intense. The foundation of freeform character building lets you do things as a player that class-based games sometimes struggle with. It lets you do things that class-based games simply can't do. It lends itself to a wide range of playstyles, including the option of running low combat campaigns where you aren't forced to just ignore your character's default battle prowess. Rather, you get to swap the battle prowess you don't need for things that are more important to who your character is and what you want them to do. I've been working on D&D for almost 20 years. Everything I've worked on has taught me something about the game that I didn't know before. Every person I've been fortunate enough to work with has shown me new things about the amazing hobby and da-da-da. But after 40 years of playing and after 20 years of working on the game, every single thing that's ever made the game the most fun for me is in Core 20 somewhere. And I'm very, very proud and happy to share it. So there's a link at that link. There you go. It takes it to a Google Drive and has all the docs. As a matter of fact, whoops. Yeah, here's where some of the docs are. So, yeah. The 20. Jeff says, sounds difficult to establish niches for PCs then? I don't know. Ryan says, I only roll D6s. All right. But I think that's about it for stuff here. Oh, one other thing I did not include. I meant to get a snapshot of this. Actually, I might. Do I have one? Let me see. I might have it here. Bear with me. What is going on here? Where is my... Let me see here. Huh. I don't know if this will actually show up. Probably not. Let me see if I can capture it. Bear with me. Oh, shoot. Actually, I think I can just... Maybe I could do this. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. No, that does not look like it should. Why is that all messed up? Oh, I know why. Let me nuke this thing. Yeah, it's not. It's not showing. Anyways. Screw it. Not worth it. Mike Merles has joined Chaosium as executive producer. Little newsworthy. If you've followed Mike, he's been at Wizards of the Coast quite a lengthy time, as of up until like late last year when they had a round of layoffs. He was affected. So he was involved in, I think, 3.0, 4th, 5th, and then up to the time that he was also working on Magic at one time due to some controversy. He shows up at cons like Gary Con he's been to. He's a frequenter of Gamehole Con, but it is interesting to see him land at Chaosium because it'll be interesting to see what he does there. We'll see. So he's got quite a bit of years of experience if you don't know who Mike is. If you look at it, any of the 5th edition books, I think he has probably credits on a lot of them. He also mentioned recently how he fought for CR, challenge rating, and admits that it is. He admits that I don't know if he would do it again, and that it's not. I don't want to put words into his mouth, and I misquote him, but he kind of, after I think leaving Wizards, he shared his thoughts on challenge ratings, where I think he was very much an advocate for them, and then after the fact was like, yeah, I don't know about that. So you could probably find that information out on the internets, if you will. But anyways, I thought it was interesting that he's landing at Chaosium. And I can't remember where he was before Wizards, honestly, but I suppose I should have looked at the rest of his LinkedIn profile. All right. Let's get into print news. Well, Chaosium bought all of Sandy's 5e line for Cthulhu, so possibly. Now, that's true. Do you think Chaosium is going to try and come out with 5e supplements like Sandy Peterson's games because of this? Maybe. Does this mean COC 8th edition D20 compatible is on the way? Semi-serious question. Maybe. Hard to say. We'll see. Looking for good things. All right. All right, for all you bunny lovers. Burrow tails when bunnies dig too deep. So if Bunnies and Burrows isn't doing the job for you, there you go. Role-playing game of bunnies and dangers in the deep. You know, I got to change my answer to the question of the day. Excuse me. Should be good. Always comes in pairs. We're gonna play this, Jeff. We're going to play this. On a hill below a grand oak lies the burrow, kingdom of bunnies ever expanding for every generation born. For the world above is dangerous, and only in the burrow is safety. But at every bunny lies the desire to dig even deeper, and also below lies dangers and challenges yet undiscovered, or maybe even treasure and other civilizations of burrows not yet encountered, to include Balrog. You know, the Balrog was my addition. Addition, not edition. Whoops. Whoa. Hey, where is this going? So, if you're interested, it's a rules-light TTRPG for one storyteller and one or more players based on Nate Trem's Tunnel Goons. Anybody familiar with Tunnel Goons? With just 2d6, 3 stats, and swift rules for combat and exploration, you're good to go. And included with the 20-page zine comes a small introductory adventure as well for creating your first bunnies and delving below. There you go. They burrowed too deep. They did. I'd play bunnies versus Balrog. Indeed. I'll play a Daisy dog in the bunny game. Jeff's dog, which is, I think, a known predator to bunnies. Hop, hop, you fool. Next up. Oh, let me apologize. I did not put in the link for these. I think I probably missed the last one, too. Anyways. They have taken the spinach and the carrots farm, onions in the deep. They have radishes. I think you guys are onto something here. I have the Warren PDF somewhere. I need to read it. So Warren, bunnies. Why is bunnies always getting some light, right? We got bunnies, mice. Like, they seem to be kind of superstars in the RPG space, right? Dogs. You got dogs. Jeff, we should play Pugmire. Jeff's like, what? Pugmire? That's he's got them mixed up with his Daisy dog for the bunnies. Jeff needs to play Pugmire. Oh, yeah, that's funny, Sean. No, seriously, there's an RPG called Pugmire. You play dogs. What is the premise? It's like civilization, all the humans die and the dogs evolve. I think that's the premise, right? Where are the ducks? Look, hold on. Caverna's striking a chord here. Duck phobia. Because I've mentioned, like, I have been vocal about Dragonbane and having the mallard as a species that you can play. And I'm like, no ducks in my fantasy RPG. However, if you have a game like this, and it's about, everybody playing ducks, okay, I get it. It's like the duck themed thing, right? It's like, hey, if you play bunnies and burrows, you're playing bunnies. You can't say, hey, I don't want bunnies in my RPGs if you're going to play bunnies and burrows, right? Just want to set the record straight. Sometimes I get the context gets a little warped, I think. So I just want to make sure everybody, knows where I'm coming from. Root RPG has a bunch of critters. Oh, that's true. That's true. There you go. Don't forget that classic RPG, Creeks and Crawdads. Is there one? I want a Honey Badger RPG. Oh, boy. Go Huskies. That's the dogs that Jeff owns, ironically enough. Where does Howard the Duck belong then, Sean? Duck Borg. Duck Borg. There. Duck Borg. There you go. Done. Howard the Duck belongs in Duckborg. You can be a mallard in my game from the Quad Cities. The Quad City Mallards. I think they're defunct. We have the Madison Mallards across the street from me, Laramie. They're a baseball team. Northwoods League. I think they play a team in Iowa somewhere. You don't need to explain yourself, Sean. I'm pretty sure that ducks don't watch your live stream. Now I'm a little. Now I need to go find some duck watchers. Watchers that are ducks. Husky GSD, German Shepherd mixes, Seanbo. That's why they're a little larger. Oh, fair. They are pretty big for what a husky would be. Thanks for the clarification, buddy. That's true. Howard belongs in the Marvel RPG. I linked CNC in Discord for you. Oh, thank you. Hey, thanks, Victor. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. Thought this was interesting. Unleash your inner speed demon in Road Racers. PTSD, just like high stakes motorcycle racing RPG that asks, how far will you go to be the fastest? Interesting concept for an RPG, I must say. 0.73 miles of closed public roads around the Isle of Man, reaching speeds of more than 200 miles an hour through towns and villages, over the mountain and back down. That is an insane race. I've seen videos. It's crazy. Mostly because sometimes the terrain, I mean, just a dip in the road and these guys get air at 180 miles an hour. Oh. Makes my hands sweat just thinking about it. The greatest and most dangerous motorsport event in the world. A test of skill and courage, a duel with death. A race like no other. Indeed. So Road Racers is a tabletop role-playing game designed by Thomas McGrenery. Grenery? The creator of Malandros and Revolution Comes to the Kingdom, which I am not familiar with those, but something to look into. The principal characters of the game are elite motorcycle riders from all walks of life competing in the world's most famous road race. One participant, Race Control, acts as a referee and facilitator and controls non-player characters. Hey, I'm going to walk right out there. The other players each take the role of an individual rider. On each of the race's 6 laps, you take turns to go as fast as you can. You take as many turns as you like, but each turn increases the number of dice you must accept from those you roll. On the first turn, it's easy. Simply select the single best die that you need. On later turns, you can include more good dice, but you start to run out of options to set aside the bad ones. How far will you push it to win? Between laps, rider interviews and other scenes played out in flashback form, or in flashback from before the race started, gives an insight into the characters' personalities, relationships, and rivalries. Interesting. Is a dice chain. At the heart, each racing action is resolved by selecting from a rolled dice pool made up of arc dice that move down the dice chain, D8 to D6 to D4, then cold and up when hot, representing how close the rider's tires and engine are to their optimal operating window. Arc dice start cold and become hot when they get to D4. Interesting. Lower numbers are better, but a roll of 1 advances the arc dice, making them increasingly dangerous to use as the race progresses. A 4 in the result triggers an unpredictable incident deck draw, which could see your bike develop a fault, a slower rider come into view ahead, or a race-ending crash leading to injuries or worse. Man, you gotta like motorcycle racing for this game. I mean, you don't have to. It's a little presumptuous, but I mean, to create it, I would hope, for sure. 24-page rulebook, set of print and play cards for the incident deck, with a conversion chart for players who prefer to use a standard deck of playing cards and play aids, including an A3 play sheet to help track of positions. Interesting. Check it out if you are so inclined. Thanks, Rascal, for reporting on that and putting it out there. All Alrighty. Let's see what the world of EN comes up with. EN World. RPG news. Uncharted Journeys. D&D 5th edition. $50. Rules for 4 key journey roles. The Outrider, the Quartermaster, the Sentry, and the Leader, and each role has a unique ability. Advice on which classes are best suited to which roles, as well as new rules for resting and recovering class abilities while on a long journey. New ways to create unique and interesting travelers, and new rules for creating ancient ruins. Covers almost 2,000 encounters across 16 different regions, including huge cities teeming with people, haunted lands, Next one, oh my goodness. Local legends. Not logical. Local legends. Night hag encounter, bat demon encounter, ghost pirate encounter, owl bear encounter, wraith encounter, tavern kit. There you go. Isle of Cedra, Monster Hunter Belladonna, and the Scorpion Labyrinth by Gaming Ballistic for OSE. This Isle of Cedra forms a regional campaign setting small enough to be manageable but large enough to contain a wide variety of adventures. Monster Hunter Belladonna is a solo adventure. PCs get the chance to plunder the depths of a long-forgotten ruin called the Scorpion Labyrinth. Next one, Pilgrimage of the Penitent, Beyond Deep, and Ragnaborg by Worlds of Game Design. All these are for Merkborg. Pilgrimage to the Penitent includes storyline and explores the lengths to which one might go to seek absolution during the impending apocalypse. Beyond Deep, PCs visit the secluded mining town of Berelia, built around a now corrupted mine plagued by harrowing conditions, grotesque creatures, and a horrific mystery. PCs are warriors in Ragnaborg, a Norse environment in the final days of Ragnarok. And that is it. There you go. What's up, Hobbsy? Yeah, I got time to sit around, buddy. Still haven't gotten into OSE, but I'm a fan of Gaming Ballistic. I think that he does solid work. Well, if you like BX, if you don't, just saying. Just saying. All right. Moving right along. Bam, 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 boom, bam. Woof. It's not crowd not funding. It's crowdfunding. Okay. Wayward Gazette. We'll start with this one. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Wayward Gazette, Weird Frontiers zines. So if you're into Dave Beatty's Weird Frontiers, which is derived from Dungeon Crawl Classics, Weird West game is over there. Otherwise, if it was on my shelf, I'd show it to you. It's about a 4-inch thick spine. This one's at a $750 goal. It's at $3,600, so it's funded. So if you want some additional materials for your Weird Frontiers game, it was funded within 5 hours. Wayward Studios is putting it on. Contains supplemental rules, new character classes, and equipment. Each zine will be black, white, A5 size, and approximately 22 pages. I don't know how many they're putting out here. Let me see if I can get that information. I don't know. Wow. Not quite sure. It's a series of dime novel zines. I think it's 5, Tyler says. I'll take your word for it, buddy. High speed, low drag, buddy. All right. So I thought this was interesting. Since we're on crowdfunding, Geek Native said, forget blockchains. Kickstarter fights back at BackerKit and company. We've talked about crowdfunding campaigns and the landscape that is crowdfunding. So this is not necessarily covering games that are being crowdfunding, but the actual platform for Kickstarter, which happened to encounter some controversy back in the day about talking about using the blockchain to do things for its, people were not overly happy. There was outrage at the thoughts of using the blockchain as part of their platform or integrating it into their platform. But also BackerKit, which used to be like, hey, Kickstarter doesn't do these things, so we will do that. So people used to run, and they still do. They run a Kickstarter, and then they do a lot of fulfillment through BackerKit. Well, then BackerKit's like, why are we tacked onto this platform? Why don't we just do the same thing? So now BackerKit does, parts of the fulfillment that they'd always done through Kickstarter as an add-on app, and now does the funding parts of it. So anyways, it sounds like Kickstarter's like, hey, we should do what BackerKit used to do for us. Anyways, so they have a new vision, which moves the platform from its we're not retail mantra to a focus on make money, tackle the logistics that feels a bit more reflective of what people want. So some of the changes that they're adding is late pledges, performance marketing, and better backer surveys. So Kickstarter late pledges, changing the game for project creators, extending support beyond the campaign's initial deadline. So with the launch of their new late pledges feature, successful campaigns can continue raising funds even after the official end date. So I think BackerKit, you could do that. Or if a Kickstarter ended and you still wanted it, I think like Outgunned, I did that. I did not crowdfund or kick in for Outgunned by Three Little Mice. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to grab it. And they allowed a late pledge, but it was all through BackerKit, as far as I know, if I recall correctly. So now, if they wanted to do that, the publisher, they could do it natively from Kickstarter if they're using that platform. So it says that this feature eliminates the need for third-party services, and streamlines the process by integrating it directly into Kickstarter. The platform says results have been impressive, with one creator raising an additional 35% of their original goal within just 2 weeks of using late pledges. So it's available today, globally, who successfully meet their funding goal. Kickstarter marketing is expanding its support for creators with the launch of Kickstarter Performance, a new in-house performance marketing team. This dedicated unit aims to help creators effectively promote their campaigns and reach a wider audience of potential backers. I wonder how many AdWord campaigns would be involved in that. Now hiring Google AdWords experts. So Kickstarter Performance Team offers comprehensive support through the campaign, from developing creative assets and pre-launch marketing strategies to measuring and executing ad campaigns. Leveraging their experience in crowdfunding, the team tailors performance marketing strategies to each campaign's specific needs. That'll be interesting. It is initially in its initial testing phase with a select group of creators. Kickstarter Performance has already facilitated nearly $1 million in pledges, showcasing its potential to significantly boost campaign success. Oof. Yeah, what are the thoughts on all this stuff, huh? Kickstarter surveys set to overhaul their backer survey tool, aiming to streamline the production and fulfillment process for creators. The existing tool, while functional, is being upgraded to enhance user experience and efficiency. The upcoming changes promise a more streamlined survey process for creators and backers. Backers can input their address, select item preferences such as size and color, and answer custom questions directly to the pledge details page. New tool will also consolidate responses for all selected items, including add-ons and multiple quantities. I'm also wondering, I think one of the biggest beef for some of the creators on crowdfunding campaigns is getting us to fill out the survey, right? Hey, fill out the survey. We want to get you your stuff. You haven't done it yet. Last call, yada, yada. I wonder how manual that process is. They could easily set up a, email journey, if you will. Send it out. Did they complete it? No. Send it out again 2 days later. Did they complete it yet? No. When is the deadline? What's the next email? We'll see. Shabbat says Kickstarter is going to put out the survey now instead of backer kit. It sounds like that's the goal. Reminds me of modern banks. They give financial advice as if you're a business partnership. It's in their interest to help you make money. Well, maybe. I think, not being a banker, financial analyst, or any of the sort, the purpose of a bank is to make money, and they do it off of fees and interest, in my humble opinion. But yes, the more money you make, obviously, they can sink their little teeth in you. Laramie says it's super manual, trust me. Yeah, which I don't know why. You could automate that stuff. Here is our deadline. Send the survey. When do you want to send the survey? 20 days out? 10 days out? Oh, and they can actually do data and recommend when you should send it out. We find the most success at 15 days out. Do you want to set it at 15 days? Yes. If they don't complete it, would you do you want to just automate it? Yes. And then it takes all the data points that they have, and then they just run that out. Set it and forget it. Anyways, so there you go. I thought it was interesting. Kind of affects a lot of the consumer parts of our brains, of our hobby. Let's get into Ian. Oh, did I put that in the old chat? Chat. Yes, I did. No, I did not. I will put it in the chat. Chat. Alrighty then. Ian World crowdfunding news. Delve. I got in on Delve. This is Bob Worldbuilder, YouTuber, putting out Delve. The reason I got into it is because of Shadowdark, and I like the format he's putting down on it. So, full disclaimer, backer. It's all about dungeons. You get 10 dungeons, new monsters, magic items, traps, and player options. So it's for 5e and Shadowdark. I got it in on the Shadowdark piece. And you could get both, but I think I only went in on Shadowdark, and I think print and PDF. That's it. So, anyways, look at this thing: $298,000 of a $10,000 goal. And I like the format of the book. I really do. I like the format of even some of what Kelsey does, like her scroll, like a great zine. Like, and I'm not a zine guy. Some of you are. I have an appreciation for the layout and what's put into them now, much, much more than I ever have in the past. Next one, Call of Cthulhu, Scions of the Dark Goddess. Funded in 20 minutes, fulfilled in 20 years. Little angsty. Just kidding. Shadowland games, just kidding. I'm sure you'll get it not right on the mark. I just figure if they're going to promote how fast they're funded, I should be a little cynical on how fast they're fulfilled. That's all. That's all I'm saying. All right. And let's see, Backer Kit Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. What if the black goat with 1,000 young were here in 2024? Would it terrify? Would it trend? In an apathetic world that feels it's experienced everything, would the mythos be able to move behind the scenes more easily? Could they bring about the end of it all while everyone is too distracted with today's overstimulation? I make it sound like I'm jacked into the net like a zombie. So there you go. Check that out if you're a Call of Cthulhu fan. Next, Worlds at a Glance, 5e tools to describe towns, shops, and NPCs from GM Worlds. That's something I might have to get. Sean, you have a really hard time explaining things in Shadowdark. Yeah. Fair. 197,000 euros of a 10,000 euro goal. There you go. Liar's Guide to Risk and Reward. A 5th edition bestiary from Nat 19. It's a custom D&D 5th edition rule subset from Nat 19 titled 5.19th edition. It's from Canada. Do you like mechs, sci-fi, and 5e rules with slight variations? A lot of 5th edition players probably do. The Kickstarter is funding Liar's Guide to Risk and Reward, a source book for Nat 19's campaign world. You're getting over 200 NPCs, monsters, divine boons, and rules for using mechs in 5.19e and more. $77,000 goal. See, told you. Black Rainbow Society. Interesting. Get it? Black Rainbow. Hell Knight is the system. Core rulebook. Gavril Quiroga specializes in grindhouse OSR experiences that lean into the rough edges of gonzo horror, dark encounters, drugs, and expected demons. His games are art books that combine metal, punk, 70s and 80s fantasy sci-fi with slasher horror elements, and in the case of the Black Rainbow Society, the works of William Burroughs. What comes out is an adventurous RPG perfect for fans of action, danger, blood, guts, and the strange. It's got a great punk zine vibe as you play radical psychonauts guilty of stealing an experimental military drug. What comes next will change the reality forever. All right. $18,000 of a $3,000 goal. There you go. Demeter. 3038. Why 3038? Why not 3034? Why not 3030? Sci-fi horror one-shot by Andrew Hand. Diminishing die pool is the system. Anybody play the diminishing die pool? Core rule zine. $10 gets you the zine. It's funded. $250 goal. 433 raised. Booyah. This project offers a sci-fi horror one-shot complete with all the rules you need to play. The title and plot implies that Dracula, or a similar force, awakens aboard a colony ship in deep space. Because it's in deep space, there are limited resources and opportunities to deal with this challenge. To simulate those limits, This one-shot uses a system that reduces your die pool size at certain points. As challenges arise and you roll to resolve them, your dice pool may permanently decrease until you run out of dice options. Out of dice and options. If you're looking for horror, sci-fi, and easy-to-use system for a single session, this game may speak to you. Next, Ruthless Heavens, Boundless Fate. D20 OSR rule set. Core rulebook. This project is a lit RPG OSR, a subgenre that feels underexplored in the light of TTRPGs and lit RPGs occupying similar geek spaces. This alone makes this game a worthwhile read, says author. This TTRPG puts you in control of an avatar that you must build up to ensure the safety of those that depend on you. Concept is sci-fi fantasy, visually like the artwork of Mobius's comics. Mechanically, it uses a D20 OSR system. It's funded. There you go. That's it. That's all she wrote, yo. Booyah, booyah, booyah. Sean, link, please. Uno momento. Bam. There you got it. There you got it. William Burroughs inspired interesting. Jason X the RPG. Something like that. There you go. Right on the money. 1 hour. Boom. That's it. That's all I got today. The West Marches campaign continues. I have to keep track of the sessions. I at least run four sessions. So every mission's been run. Every mission but one has been run. Every expedition has been run but one. Nobody wants to get flies. It's going well. Getting a lot of good feedback. A little all over the board, but not bad. It's making me think of things. Have some hard decisions to make. The first 4 sessions have been interesting, for sure. Travel rules, no travel rules. What are the travel rules? VTT, show us a map. Can you draw it out? Yeah. I think I got to pick a lane and go. I've tweaked a couple dark points. Dark dice, I should say. Dark dice, luck dice. Rulings, not rules, RPG Sean. Yeah. Indeed. Indeedly do, Hoos. It's going well, though. Going well, I think, for sure. Lots of good positive feedback. And constructive feedback as well. It's not all just, roses and unicorn farts. What are the rules for my character has to poop? Just like in every TV show, in every movie, in anything in books, nobody poops. Okay, Ryan? It's no. Just saying. Well, for everybody in the U.S., I hope you all have a peaceful Memorial Day weekend. Thank you for everybody joining me this fine day. I have a game tomorrow and Monday. Monday, maybe. I don't know if anybody's going to be around Monday to play, but I put it up on the counter because I got some time in the morning. We'll see. If I don't get 3 or 4 players, I probably won't run. Tomorrow sounds like an expedition back to the catacombs of the Forgotten King is going to happen, which will be interesting. So we will see how that fares. Thank you for everybody here, patrons of the show that have supported me with a few shekels on a monthly basis. Thank you very much. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining the stream today. I know you might have other things to do, but you were gracious enough to give me some of your time. Thank you very much. Thankful for each and every one of you. I hope you're gaming. I hope your gaming is going well. There's nothing worse than being in games and you're excited and everything's like, yes, I want to play this game and I'm going to play with my friends. And we played a few sessions and it's like not kind of what I want to do. And then it's really, that's no bueno. So hopefully everything's going smoothly. Make some tough decisions if that's happening, right? We want to have good times at the table. That includes everything, including game masters and players. It's got to be a symbiotic relationship, a little give and take, if you will, a little understanding, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. And some tough decisions have to be made. So hopefully you don't have to encounter that. But if you do, there's other people out there. And you'd be surprised at how many share same styles and tastes, if you will. It's so funny, you want diversity in gaming, but then again, you're like, well, my game is like, it's a very social thing. So you have to kind of get in with the group and, you know, meshing is good. Anyways, I will let you guys go. Have a great weekend. I stream every Saturday at 8 a.m. Central Time here in the U.S. Talk about RPGs, crowdfunding, print news, things that are put out, and the like. If you want to join the Discord, we have a Discord. I think I have a link down below. Maybe not. I think it was getting spammed at one time, but plenty of discussion over there. But yeah, be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby, and I hope to see you next weekend. Take care.